Calgary, you're curious about what's going on in the condo market, and I am here to deliver. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised to see some of the most recent data that just came out for apartments here in Calgary. Hi, my name's Fyfe, and I'm your Calgary Realtor. I'm here to help, so feel free to book a call or shoot me a text if you have any questions. So let's go. So let's start this off by looking at the year-to-date stats package for 2022. Now, this is a bit to digest at first, so take your time. I'm going to start off with total sales and work my way down. Just like every other sector, you can see that total sales have continually fallen from the highs seen in March and April. But just like townhouses, if we go down to the benchmark price, you can see that the benchmark price for apartments has actually seen a steady increase month over month. So there is a bit to unpack here. Apartments haven't been this hot since 2013-14. Citywide, new listings have fallen month over month, where inventory has slowly crept up as well. This is a similar story to other sectors, but given their rise in price, it's obviously different. Now, the sales to new listing ratios are within reason. If new listings were to slow right down, prices could very well continue to go up as demand is still there for the condo units here in Calgary. Overall, citywide condos are not doing too bad. Apartments can shift very quickly though, as we have many of them in Calgary. If a few builders decide to flood the market with a lot of new units, like we've seen in years past, we will see that jump in inventory skyrocket and prices could actually reverse. So this next chart is pretty cool. Now you can see a run up in March, April, May, and June, and I believe that we're starting to see a leveling off now. Now, this is total apartments across Calgary. We will need to break this down into individual quadrants to see what is happening in each area, and that will be the next chart. You can see that the blue bar, which is inventory or the leftover homes at the end of the month, has steadily increased as sales are slowly decreasing month over month. Now, you can see that we're starting to go back to the levels we were at last year with that huge difference in sales to new listings inventory. You can see that even though we saw a small uptick this year in sales, with the new interest rate hike, sales have started to slow down to last year's levels. So this next graph is also a lot to digest at first, so feel free to pause the video and browse the information. Now, I'm going to place a map on the bottom right hand corner to help showcase the different quadrants of Calgary. So, starting from the left and working our way right, you can see that the city center had the most amount of sales in the month of July, which is fairly normal, whereas both the south and southeast came second. Now, the sales to new listing ratio for the city center is not that strong, but still doing a lot better than what we've seen in the past. Calgary North, West, and South have a pretty good sales to new listing ratio. So when looking at inventory, look at how many leftover condos there are in city center Calgary, 825. That's quite a bit. If we see a dump of new listings like I mentioned before, that would be pretty sad to see that number go over 1,000. But when jumping over to the months of supply, you can see that the city center and northeast both have over 4 months of supply. While high and still considering to be a buyer's market, that is a welcome number compared to the numbers that we've seen in years past. Calgary North and Southeast are both under 2 months, which tells me those quadrants are in the most demand currently, which is a welcome change. So here are the price points for each quadrant, and here are some of the price percentages. Now, every quadrant saw a nice increase in price compared to last year, which should be comforting for many apartment owners as the past 6 years have been very slow, as you can see on this graph here. Now, we have finally outpaced 2014 levels, which should be exciting news for many apartment owners who purchased within that time frame. So, moving along to the month over month, only the northeast and east saw a decline in price, whereas every other quadrant saw a small uptick. Now, I would like to say, obviously this isn't a Toronto or Vancouver market, but these are welcoming numbers for a lot of people who've purchased from 2007 to 2014. Lastly, let's look at what price points are most active in the apartment sector. Now, this is a year-to-date chart, so every single sale from January 1st to July 31st. You can see that the $200,000 to $300,000 price range is the most popular, whereas the sub $200,000 is second. And this is fairly normal occurrence. You can see that the $300,000 to $400,000 price point saw a nice uptick in sales this year as well, which is really great to see. Now, the blue, the green, and the yellow bars represent the year-to-date sales for the previous 3 years. You can see that this year had a welcome run-up in sales, which is a lot of people are capitalizing on that lower interest rate and still being able to afford affordable product. So we saw an increase in net migration this year, which was actually really good for our condo market. All in all, I would have to say that the apartment sector is still relatively strong compared to other sectors here in Calgary. Now, this will be a very exciting sector to follow along in the the coming months. All right, folks, that's all I have for you today. Now, my calendar link is below if you want to book a time to talk about all things real estate. Or feel free to give me a call or shoot me a text if you have any questions at all. So until next time, peace.